was once plagued by people claiming the right to rule over them, and now they live peaceful, free lives without violence. After the town of 20,000 people in Mexico decided to take matters into their own hands by kicking out politicians, cops, and criminals, the now completely voluntary society is running great, and the people finally have freedom and peace. Cheran is now run by autonomous groups of armed individuals acting on a voluntary basis, with no one making laws, but then again, no one harming one another either. Choosing to work together instead of submitting to the authoritarian regime previously claiming ownership over the town and those who reside in it, the people couldn't be doing better now, and they've grabbed a firm hold of their freedom. Now, this may sound scary to those unable to imagine a life of true freedom, but the town has been liberated since 2011, and no politician is allowed to come in and begin to control the people. Apparently, armed men and women, not police but members of an autonomous militia, guard every entrance to the town, looking for strangers with contraband. And that contraband would be considered political propaganda posters or materials of those who claim the right to rule other human beings. Since the town was set free in 2011, there's no use for politicians or those who want power over others. According to a recent article by Vice, for years, the town had been terrorized by an organized crime syndicate devoted to illegally logging the surrounding forests. So after mobs drove out the criminals, they disarmed and drove out the corrupt cops who had protected them. And they banned the politicians. Cheran has achieved something unthinkable in Michoacan. A dramatic drop in murder rates, with rates for other serious crimes hovering at nearly zero. For those in Mexico, especially in an election year marked by wanted political murders, Cheran stands as proof that in the country's entrenched cycle of violence, the key ingredient to that violence is the state. Remove that ingredient, and it's possible to start from scratch. And it bears reasoning that when those who claim the right to rule over others are removed from society, the people are left in freedom, and they become much better human beings, because their social structure becomes a reputation-based society built on
exactly, and if somebody does something wrong, the whole community takes them down.
When you remove the myth of authority, that crazy idea that some person or group of people has the right to own you and take your stuff, people
look at those dudes, some true cowboys right there, baby,
for their best interests. Cheran is evidence that freedom works way better than the bold and obvious socialist slavery in Venezuela. As soon as people begin to realize that their freedom does not come from the whims of any other human being, real change in a society based on nonviolence and cooperation can thrive. But it'll take considering the idea of a truly free society rather than putting one's life into the hands of a master political parasite. Guys, if you like what we're doing here on this censored channel and you want to support the effort, the Patreon, PayPal, and Bitcoin links.
Blah, blah. I don't really always agree with people asking for money, but hey, I guess if that's all you do for a living. I spend 8 hours out of my day doing this for a living. Or not even for a living, I just can't help but do it, and I don't ask for anything, but hey, whatever. I like it, I like him, I like his research, he does good work. But imagine that. A place in Mexico that is actually more free and safer and better to live than almost anywhere in the United States. Imagine that. Like kicking out all the corrupt politicians. Something to think about. Please share this with everybody. I love you all. We are the true resistance, and we are winning.